While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Follow your heart to discover your creative soul. Be open. There's a whole world out
Hello, hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good week so far.
For a business, the store of your dreams. There's
My
just one
ads,
thing
bro.
to figure out. Everything. That's why Shopify.
Sorry about the ads. But yay, hello. I'm back for another week of streaming. Today the plan is to try to do some sketches for some upcoming projects. Things look a little different. You may see. Hello. Welcome to the stream, and thank you again for that awesome theme that was playing. I let it play a little longer just because I wanted to give it a proper debut. But yeah, I'll talk about all that in just a second. When I switch over, I'll talk about my new layout and all the songs that you've made for me. And then we'll get started. So just give me one more sec to set up some stuff or to switch over properly, and then we'll get started.
There's a whole
Yay, okay. Yes, welcome to the stream. Oh no, now I have to remember if I could say your name out loud. Because I'm used to reading it in my head. Melodinumbra. Hopefully that's close. But yes, thank you for coming to the stream. And yeah, so what some of the big things that have changed my layout. Yeah, I'm glad I got it. And yeah, there's new stream theme and also new stream alerts. I don't know if you've done it yet, but did you want to test the alerts? I already tested them a little bit, so they should work. But we can test them out real quick now, too. Yay! There it goes. Yes, I really liked them. When I was testing them, I was really excited to have them. So yeah, that works. Thank you. Yeah, I spiffied up my layout. My layout's been pretty bare before this stream, and it'll probably keep changing a little bit as I go on, but this is my first pass at it. The only one I can't test yet is subscriber because what's it called? I have to have well, I can show a test version of it, but I can't actually get it yet because I'm not affiliate yet. But at least we have it ready for when it's there. But this is what it would look like. Yay! And for some reason, Raid doesn't have like a test option that I can see, but I tested it off stream and it looked pretty good as well. So thank you very much again, because it feels awesome to have like sounds that I can call my own for my stream and whatever, and not have to worry about like copyright or whatever. So I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to get some music to start streaming to. Let's see. How has your day been today? Before the stream? Hopefully good. Alright, I'm gonna get started here. My plan, as I said, is to start sketching out new projects, because I finished my ending screen, which will be revealed at the end of the stream. But because I finished that was my drawing project I've been working on. But now that I finished it, I can start new projects. Oh, nice. That's cool, and that's cool that you have a friend and you can keep up with the time zones and everything. That's awesome. One of my friends is currently away to, is away. They don't live there though, but I've had to learn time zones of the Philippines to keep in contact with them right now. Okay, I figured I'd start with completing our art trade of sorts. So I'm gonna start sketching ideas for your cover, and then I might sketch the start of something for one of my commissions. But today might just be a sketching day. I know, yeah, the Philippines is a crazy difference. It's like 13 hours, so like I'll wake up and think like, oh, I want to message them something, but then I'm like, wait a minute, they're probably asleep. Sorry, I had to get my tablet real quick because I read chat from my tablet. Get that so that I can see. Pardon any stuff. I've been doing it for a couple weeks now, but I'm still pretty new, so some stuff I'm still streamlining in my process and everything. Okay, if you have an Xbox set, your location in New Zealand, new games are coming out. Oh my god. I didn't know that would work. That's awesome. I might have to steal your hack. Because I didn't even know that would work. We must keep it a secret so that no console like patches that or makes that unusable. Let me get your ref up. Oh yeah, there's the cat. That's still something that's useful. I will still be probably using that. There's a few games that I'm looking forward to. It's been a while since I feel like it's been a while since I've like waited on a game right at its release time. Because a lot of games I really was looking forward to ended up coming during like classes, so I ended up like having to kind of wait for them before I could go and get it. But there is what is it? Sonic Origins Plus, I believe, is coming out pretty soon. And I believe it's coming out on June 23rd, Sonic's birthday. And honestly, I probably will I'd probably look at that one on the release day. Because I usually don't like the games that are kind of like remakes of other games. Like, that's just basically a kind of redo of Sonic Origins. But the reason I'm obsessed with this one is because they've made Amy Rose playable. And it's the first time that's happened in quite a long time. So their marketing tactic worked for sure. Because I will be giving them my money. Okay. Okay. So I have a few different ideas for your cover based on what we talked about. So I'm just going to sketch out a couple options, and then when I'm done with all the options I can think of, I'll ask you which one you prefer, and we'll go from there. I'm glad. I like your persona a lot, and I think the idea that we're working with should make for a really cool composition. Oh, you're all good. Yeah, do whatever you need to do. It's all fine. I'm just from from now on, I'm just kind of drawing. So lurking and whatever, it's perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. Whatever you want to do. I'm just chilling, and my streams honestly are pretty mellow right now because I don't have a ton of active watchers yet. So yeah, either way, it's all good. I'll just let you know if I have any questions about the composition, either on here or through Discord. So it's all good. Oh, I did have one question. Did you want your Sona naked, or did you want him to be wearing? I noticed in one of the pictures you have on the ref sheet, he has like an outfit on. Did you want me to try to draw him in the outfit, or did you just want him to be no clothes? All right. I didn't know another way to say it. Yep, I can work with that. I'm really loving that. Embracing just drawing like furry critters. It's been a lot of fun kind of just embracing what I genuinely like to draw and not trying to kind of run from it. Or I guess like I was a little too worried about making myself like a marketable artist by like commercial art standards that I kind of ditched what I actually like. Okay. Okay, yeah, like I'll see it when I'm sketching the thumbnails. Some of them I might be like, well, let's see what it looks like with the clothes, and we'll see from there. No, it's like weird. Like it shouldn't be as like I guess stigmatized as it is, but unfortunately we are in this society. But I believe there's a market for anything if you just like plan correctly. So I gotta not deny what I like to actually make art of anymore. At some point, I might put some of the reference images you gave me up as well for the pose, just for my reference. But for now, I think I'll just sketch a bit freely. I've been doing it with music, and people have been chill. So yeah, you got this. Yeah, yeah, I've definitely seen you kind of building your own community that way, and I think it's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so far I've been having a good time. I think I just need to get more into the communities. I've never been the best at like connecting with like specific groups like fandoms or whatever like on social media and stuff, so I think I need to just practice putting myself out there more and not overthinking the interactions before they happen, sort of thing. Just kind of going. I definitely think now that I'm embracing it, it'll be easier to find now that I'm not kind of being so cryptic about it anymore, kind of upfront about it. Yeah, I agree. Like that's how I've met most of my other artistic friends in like university as well, just like kind of complimenting people. So I guess yeah, that'll maybe be what I try, interacting more in online spaces. Because right now I fall prey to kind of being like a lurker. Like I'll like stuff, sometimes retweet, but I don't comment a lot. But I'll try to comment more, probably. At least say more, especially because I'm also trying to, build a following and everything. That's a good idea. I'm so excited. I also am excited because I noticed really quickly that streaming is helping me focus a lot more on projects. Because I finished art, without streaming, but I tend to get like distracted in general when I stream and just when I draw, or not when I stream, when I draw. Like I'll draw for a little bit, then I'll like walk around my house, or I draw and then I eat lunch and then I take a while to get back to it when I'm having a drawing session. But streaming kind of forces me to sit here because people are watching. But like my ending screen, I finished that way quicker than I usually finish art projects, I think, just because I was streaming it. So I had about, between the 2 weeks I was working on it, I had like 10, 11 hours of dedicated work time where I wasn't like getting up. I just was sitting here working. So I think I should continue streaming for the long run, if only for that purpose too. Keeps me actually finishing projects. The like, comment, and repost combos OP. Yeah, I'll get more active with all that because I realized I stopped retweeting a while ago. I think because I was trying to make my social media like a portfolio sort of thing, but um I plan to make another, like, an actual portfolio site, so I feel like I can worry less about that. I don't need my social media to be like completely clean anymore. I think it's fine if I branch out and start retweeting stuff again. People have a lot of lovely stuff, of course, that I should retweet. Especially because I'm not super active on Twitter otherwise. Like, I post sometimes. Now, especially, I've been posting a lot more, but especially but in general, I don't. I prefer to be on, like, other sites most of the time. Right. Like, it's such a shame all the, like, how Twitter's becoming a bit harder. Like, I feel like the changes that were made with, like, the blue check marks and stuff, it makes it a lot harder to see, like, the people I follow there who work. And that's part of why I don't spend as much time, because I just end up seeing, like, a bunch of random people who I'm not following most of the time nowadays. But it really is, I think, like, Instagram's okay, but I feel like as far as just, like, seeing a lot of work at once, Twitter's still, like, one of the better sites for that, so I want to make it work. So just fair warning, my sketching process is very much trust the process. It'll get pretty rough at times, but I promise it'll end up looking right eventually. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've only really posted art to multiple sites, so that's interesting. Like, you know, it's kind of a difference with like the different mediums. Yeah, what I've noticed is, yeah, my notice is that to get initial reach without doing anything is a lot harder on Twitter. You definitely have to interact to kind of get people on your radar on Twitter. While as like Instagram, there's been a couple times where like your post could just be noticed suddenly. And if that happened because of the cool like repost feature that they have, where you know people can repost like somebody's post to their own story. So I know, especially on my old Instagram, I don't post as frequently as I did on my old one, but on my old one, I got up to like 300 followers because I drew a lot more fan art, and people would repost it to their story, and so a bunch of people would follow me. Like if somebody with a good amount of followers just happened to repost, I suddenly had this influx of followers. But with Twitter, I feel like it's a lot harder, especially because the like search system, the hashtag system on Twitter isn't as searchable. So you really have to interact directly to get recognition. Yeah, yeah. That repost system, it really is. It's powerful when somebody with a good following reposts your work. It suddenly will get some eyes on it for sure. And I think that's why I like to post most often on Instagram, because you get kind of that, you get the payoff a lot more often, I guess. But the one I'm still trying to kind of figure out is TikTok. I posted consistently for a little bit in the winter months, like December, when I was back for winter break. I kind of experimented with just like trying to post to TikTok frequently. I haven't done it in a while now since school came back and everything, but I kind of want to try to get back into it because it's one of those sites where, again, initial discoverability isn't the easiest. But if you are discovered, like if you hit a wave, you hit the mark with a trending sound or something, like you'll grow pretty fast from there. So it can be a useful tool for, I've seen musicians use it, and visual artists. But it's just kind of like an art to it of figuring out how to keep track of all the trending sounds, but using it how you what work in a way that works best for you. I think it'd be cool to have your persona's eyes kind of like glow. I'm just envisioning to emphasize that kind of stare down. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, TikTok, it really is one of those things where if you catch the wave, you really catch it, but if you don't, you super don't. It's really tricky. I remember one of my posts caught a wave and literally got like 1,000 likes within a few hours. Then I posted another one, and I guess I just posted it at a bum time, and I could barely get like three views on it. It's that drastic. It really is crazy and tricky, and I think that's what makes it kind of hard. Yes, so we're gonna make your song look really cool, because those are the vibes I'm getting from everything we talked about. And as I was saying, I'll make sure to leave to work in compositional space for text, like your name and the song name and stuff like that. The hardest thing ever is drawing it, like making sure the characters' pupils are looking at the camera when you want them to be so hard. But I just usually keep finicking with it till it works, make it better. Just like in the coolest pose ever, but then the eyes are just crossed. That would be fun. Big cross-eyed people. Immediately less menacing. I'm glad that I have developed kind of my own persona again, because I forgot how fun it is to kind of have a persona. I've been really enjoying having my bear again, like to have a persona again, and it's very fun. Very fun to make art of a character that you identify with. Alright, there's number 1. Right. And honestly, I've seen that happen sometimes just out of pure, like, it's really hard to make, the line is very thin between looking at the camera and and derp eyes. It's very, very, very thin line, and sometimes it just happens unintentionally. You're like, wait a minute. Thank you. I'm glad you like little Brie Bear. I need to make like a have an actual name for her, and I want to make an official reference to. So hopefully I can get more art of her as well and kind of spread her around more. Because right now, pretty much the only art I have is this talk sprite and my ending screen now that I finished that. But yeah, mainly just the talk sprite. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like sketching fast. I've learned over time. Also, just because I get so antsy, I want to start on the actual thing, so I move fast. I do. Make it rougher to start. desk pose kind of thing. Right. Yeah, that's the idea in my head, just kind of the really cool touchdown pose. Yeah, I do like Brie Bear, so I won't be surprised if I end up just kind of leaving it as Brie Bear, because it is just supposed to be me as a bear, so Brie Bear fits. Let me see if I can find a reference picture to make sure it's clear as it can. I'm glad, yeah, so far everyone I've showed my bear to says that they can see it, and I'm just very happy that I was successful. Because it really is hard, like, because I feel like it's easier to kind of perceive things that make other people recognizable, but when you turn to yourself, it can be like kind of hard to look at yourself and be like, okay, what elements make me in a recognizable way? It's always been a bit hard for me. Like, none of my other personas I've had really like resembled me for that reason. Like, I just found it so hard. Oh, I flipped the legs looking at these reference pictures. Leg. This is me down. And this is leg. It was not hard to find a reference at all. I literally had to just look up hero landing point. And then I got plenty. That's always really nice when I can actually easily find a reference for a pose I'm trying to do, because sometimes I get very imaginative with my pose, because one tip I read with art, with drawing different poses and using references, is to first loosely sketch out the idea of what you're trying to do, then look for references to solidify the idea, instead of the other way around, like directly drawing always from reference, unless you're doing like a study or something, because it makes sure that your ideas, number one, that your ideas stay original, and it keeps you loose. It keeps you from trying to like one-to-one constantly copy the reference when you kind of have a benchmark of what you're trying to do. So sometimes I'll come up with a pose that sounds really cool and looks really cool, but then when I go to find references to solidify it, I can't find anything. So I end up having to take pictures of myself. So I have so many weird, like, out of context reference pictures on my phone and stuff. Yes, I would imagine it's really hard to do that. I don't know if mine resembles me at all. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like your persona has like your energy. Like it resembles, for me, like it reflects the like your personality and your hobbies, like the kind of the color scheme and the species, like it all reflects that kind of that energy, you know? So I think that's fine too. Like your persona can either resemble you physically, but it can also just kind of resemble the embodiment of like your personality and your what you enjoy. And I definitely feel like your Sona does that. This is gonna be so fun to render. I'm already just thinking about rendering this, and we haven't even finished the sketch yet. That's all I can think of. Next stream, I keep forgetting to do this, but next stream I'm going to try to get it set up. I found a really good tutorial, so I just need to literally sit down and do it. That allows me to separate the VOD music, where like the music won't play in the VOD of the stream, so that I can play whatever I want. Because I love video game music, but I want to kind of play different types of music on my stream, like maybe lo-fi sometimes and whatever. But right now, I kind of have to stick to video game music to avoid copyright strikes. But if I can separate my desktop audio from my VOD, I won't have to worry about that anymore because it won't save. So Twitch will never know. That's the goal. Really smart. I know for music, I usually start listening to a bunch of music in a certain style, then mixing from my head. When mixing the sounds, I reference the track. Like, honestly, that's not far off from how I also start my drawing, so that's cool. Yeah, I definitely feel like when you're about to make something new, it definitely helps to kind of look at things to kind of start inspiring you in a direction. It kind of gives you a good place to start it off. Yes, I'm excited already. I love rendering. It's my favorite part. I like color. So, getting to color is the best part. I'm gonna make a bigger version of the head there. See it. Just so I don't have to keep zooming out. One tool that's very nice that I wish that Paint Tool Sci, this program had, which if it has it, I just haven't been able to find it at all, is like a symmetry tool. So I feel like that would help. Oh yeah, like yeah, Commons music definitely is an option. I just honestly like when I draw, especially like I like to listen to stuff that I really vibe with, and unfortunately, a lot of Creative Commons music I haven't, and I could what's it called? I could always like play the Creative Commons music and listen to my headphones, on my own, but I just kind of want to create a vibe that I really like. So that's why I want to try this to see if it allows me to kind of listen to stuff that's closer to what I listen to just regularly when I draw and stuff. Yes, his head has been confiscated. Confiscated. Hey, turning out cool. Open mouth. This is a bit more mysterious. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I can look to see if there's other creators that are doing that. Yeah, I definitely one of these streams, maybe on Friday, because I'll probably still be working on your piece. We'll play your discography. Maybe even later today, we'll just start doing that, just playing your stuff if that's okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that makes sense. I'll look into that. I'll look to see if any of the indie people I follow make Creative Commons music. I like his little velociraptor. Like he got the velociraptor claw. Last time I didn't get drew your Sona. I didn't draw a full body, so I didn't notice that little detail. Like, nice. Yeah, that's cool. I'll keep an eye out for that. I don't know why, but I never even thought about that. Yes, claws are very good. Now kind of going back into space a little bit. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun kind of discovering things I can do with my stream as I go. Because I've already like kind of surpassed my record for the amount of time I've streamed like consistently. Because that was my goal, to try to set a consistent schedule that I could stick to, and I finally I've done it for the first time just in these couple of weeks. So because I know I'm a little dedicated, I can start sprucing up my stream and really making it the best it can be and interesting to look at. That's hilarious! Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's what Discord channels are made for. They're made for being posted. And other various tomfoolery. I had an idea. What if he's creating the cyber lines with his claws? That's a cool idea. I'll explore that. Doing social media stuff is always a lot of fun. Video editing, I've enjoyed a lot, but haven't done in a while. Yeah, honestly, I've been thinking about that too, because, I have my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm just posting my VODs there, but because I have it, like, it makes me want to kind of try to do some other stuff. And I recently learned, like, editing videos a lot more for some of my classes. Like, I've had to do video editing stuff. And yeah, it's made me really want to try exploring it more. Okay. There's number 2. There's a copy pasta channel in another Discord I'm in, and it's my favorite thing ever because we all post whenever we get scammed for bonus. That's so funny. Yeah, man. That's a good way to use those. Those are so annoying. Luckily, I haven't gotten too many. Yes, I definitely want to explore it. I think that'll be a fun way to implement the cyber lines, because that was one of the things we talked about, the cyber lines, that I really do want to include for you. I think it's a cool graphic element for sure. I definitely want to include them somewhere. And because it's an album cover, too, I don't want I want it to be able to leave the room, so the composition won't be too cluttered, just because I want to make sure I'm leaving room as well. And these are just thumbnails, so they're not super detailed, but whatever one we choose, I'll go in and further detail it. So it's all ready to be rendered and whatever. Let me think. Let me look at your references. These are really cool. The like Sombra picture you kind of gave me. Those are really cool, like references. He has a lot of very cool poses. Oh, the hologram. That's so funny. That was actually what yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, it'd be cool to do, like, the one where something similar to the one where she's kind of reading her hologram pad. I think something like that could be cool, so I'm going to try to sketch something like that. Yeah, I do like Sombra's design. Honestly, I like so many of. I wish I was better at PvP games like Overwatch and Valorant and things like that, because I really do a lot of the character design in those games. The concept art for those games is some of my biggest inspirations. But I have a hard time playing them. But the I really like the character design in those games so much. Also, I hope you know you're helping me fulfill one of my dreams to make album cover art. That's one of the things I think about a lot, like making a album for music with my art. So I'm very excited about this project. Oh, broader. And I think this may be the last thumbnail. And then I'll let you kind of see which one you prefer. Because I think I like all three of these ideas, so I think out of one of these we can make something really cool. So okay. Yeah, that's basically my experience. Just laughing and dying and watching my friends finish the round. Yeah, there's a period of time where I had a couple friends who really, really wanted me to get into Valorant, so like every day we'd be on Valorant and it just would be like me dying like nearly instantaneously and then they like carry me and like winning, but I didn't deserve that win because I was gone. I was just gone the entire time. One of my friends did it like competitively, so like he was like really good, but I was just like I don't know. I don't know how you do this. I think for me it just goes so fast. Like I really feel like it would be cool if more PvP games had kind of like a training ground, I guess. Like I know that some of them have like a kind of shooting range sort thing, but I think it'd be cool if they had like an actual mock version of the online gameplay for you to just experiment with. Because I think that would help if I could practice in a space without real people, so that I don't make a fool of myself. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Casual modes is where I feel most at home too. Just make the torso a little too small. My fatal artist flaw. I always do it. I always make it way too small. But yeah, I have a lot of friends who are really into Halo. I think it looks like a really cool world that they built up with Halo, the Halo games. It's a little big. Oh my god, no! That's so funny. You do got little snatched waist. It's funny though. Say that. Very funny. I don't know why I do. I think because for me, my experience with visual art is I used to like rush myself, I guess, when I draw. Because there's a while in my art journey where I was so focused on just like outputting stuff for social media because I was like new to it and like I was on DeviantArt and I just really wanted to post a lot that I would rush myself, so I developed all these kind of shorthands for stuff instead of like taking time to measure stuff out. And as a result, I have to catch myself on there's a few things that I just do way too fast still, and I'll notice it's wrong. I'll be like, oh wait, gotta backtrack and measure and actually fix it correctly. No. Snatched away hyena. That's very that's so in college I've had to take a lot of life drawing classes and I definitely think they've helped me develop more knowledge of anatomy though. Yay, computer. Lately I've been having a glitch on my phone where when I watch Twitch on my phone, it overheats so much that it just shuts off. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, whenever I watch Twitch, I have to watch it from my computer now. Because for some reason my phone decided it's just going to wildly overheat when I watch Twitch now. When it did not do that before. So. One thing I do want to learn though is how to stream from my my tablet too, because I have another drawing program on my tablet that I like a lot. And I would love to stream from there sometimes. Yeah, that's one thing I want to check. I want to see like maybe like the cache needs to be cleared or something. Like it's taking up suddenly just taking up a lot of space or something. Because I don't know. But it honestly could be also a battery problem on my phone. Because I noticed, because when I had an incident during school where my phone at night, I wasn't really using it, I was just charging it. And like I got a text from my parents and I was going to respond and it just would not turn on. It was, well, it was on, but it had a black screen and it just would not like show me my screen for like a while. Like it stayed like that for like an hour before it finally like came back on. So I think for whatever reason something's just up with probably my phone's battery. But it still works most of the time. So as long as it works most of the time, I will work with that, I guess. But if I get the chance, I'm gotta take it to just make sure nothing's seriously wrong with my battery. Because this isn't like a super old phone. I think it's going on 2 years old, 3 years old, so it's not old. So it shouldn't be having issues. Yeah, I should just do that. I should try that too to see if it fixes it. Because it could just be like a weird mess up, tech mess up. Yeah, my plan throughout the year is to try to go to more conventions, just in general, just for fun, but also I think it would be really cool to finally start trying to sell my art in convention spaces, which makes me really nervous. Because I've done it at festivals, but a convention is like a lot more people. So it makes me very nervous, but I feel like that's the way to start kind of really making money from my art, because commissions are sometimes thing, but it's kind of really hard to get like traction on commissions. Like, but I feel like if I sold at conventions, it would help me get my name out there more. Oh yeah, honestly, I'm the same way. Like with my phone glass, I will not get a new one until it completely dies on me. Like the only reason I have a new one really is because I had the iPhone 5 and one day I like dropped it and the screen completely shattered, just like beyond repair. So I was just like, oh well, there it goes. But I'm the exact same way. As long as it works, I will not get a new phone. Because I don't really care about like the new phone perks. I just, as long as it works, that's all I need. As long as I can take calls on it. That would be so cool. Like if you performed at furry cons. I think they, well, already you probably see with your following, like people like you would like your music, and I could totally see it fitting right in at like a furry rave or something. And thank you. Yeah, I hope I do all right. I know I've done all right at the like I did a festival for a couple years around here, and I did pretty good at that. So I think going somewhere that even better fits the demographic of my work, like a furry or anime convention, I'd probably do even better. Because that was the only issue with like some of the festivals. They're a lot more like craft oriented. So it's not that I still sold stuff, but I feel like a lot more people weren't there for digital art. They're more there for, paintings or jewelry. But at conventions, there's a lot more like digital art being sold. So I feel like more people would be interested in it. Plus, I could do more like fan art. I feel like I felt weird about doing fan art at the festivals. I don't know if enough phrase know hardware music yet. I think they would like it based off the other music genres I know. Yeah, I definitely do. I just feel like in a lot of ways different versions of EDM, like just every different version kind of goes hand in hand with furries because they are so interwoven with like kind of dance and club culture a lot. So I definitely think that you put yourself out there at one of those, they'd like it. Yeah, I definitely feel like that's a big part of from what I've learned and just like what I've seen as far as growing an audience for your art, uh, especially visual art, like or just art in general. I feel like in any type of creative endeavors, you gotta find your target audience, your target demographic, and really try to appeal to them as much as possible. All right. Yeah, that's one thing I really noticed. Like, I've been really getting into just like listening to different genres and subgenres of music, and that's the most fun about them. Like seeing what's different and what's similar, and you can almost tell sometimes by listening to different ones, like which ones are probably related to each other. Super, super fascinating. One of my goals is to try to learn a lot more about music just because, especially as visual art becomes my career, I feel like I'll need other creative endeavors to kind of make into hobbies so I can feel fulfilled. So, alright. I think it's choosing time. So, is there any one of these three that speaks to you the most? And let me make sure I'm getting a good view. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can get the best view. Let me know if you want me to zoom in to any of them. Whatever one you choose, I'll kind of sketch into it a little bit more to add more details and kind of figure it all out. 2 or 3? Yeah. I kind of agree. Like, I like how dynamic the 2 and 3 are. Hmm. It's a really tough choice. I do like how kind of like, I guess, busy your Sona looks in number 3. Like, I think it makes him look so like professional and like kind of refined and kind of cool, I guess. Like I like how, but this one makes him look more like energy. first, like beast-like. So I don't know which mood do you think would fit better with the album? Like, I mean, the song. Okay, like 3 makes more thematic sense, but 2, yeah, yeah. I'm so glad you like them all, though. But yeah, well, maybe so. Let's maybe do this. Like, I'll save. I'll say I won't delete it, so 2 will still be around. And if maybe another song comes around that has more intensity, we can finish up 2 as well. Yeah, because 3 maybe makes more thematic sense. Maybe let's go with 3 and flesh that one out. Yeah, okay. So 3 it is. 3's the winner today. But yeah, I won't delete the other one. So if at any point we come back to something like this, we can do that. But I do like 3. I just think it has a very nice energy that we can play with. All right. I'm gonna do some layer management real quick. And then we'll get started with a cleaner sketch. Oops. It's opened a completely different thing. I want to make sure I save the sketches under a different name so that I don't accidentally like save over it and lose it as I'm working on the other stuff. Layer management. So I don't get lost. I know. Prepare jump scare. That was my ending screen. And I have the full thing as like we'll look at the full thing at the end. But I finished it up finally. I feel like my rendering it can take a long time depending on the composition. Like this one probably won't take me as long as usual because the background elements, the environment elements will be pretty minimal. Like the focus is just the character. Like with my ending screen, I tried to do like a whole like kind of scene. So that makes it a lot more time consuming. Let's make it square. I'm just real quick gonna check like if like SoundCloud and stuff has size restrictions. Well, maybe, do you know, like, for uploading images, is there any size restrictions for albums for the places where you upload your songs? Because that way I'll just make sure before like when I give you the finished thing, I resize it to make sure it fits the restrictions and stuff like that. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too. I think this is gonna look really cool. Okay. Yeah, I work really big when I draw. So I always work pretty big. This canvas is actually 4,000 by 4,000. But yeah, you can whittle down if you want to, but I could also do it as well. So we'll figure that out near the end, though. Because the only thing I saw is that it has a 2 megabyte restriction, so I'll be sure to make sure whenever I'm done that it's under that, so that you don't get that warning either. Yeah, it just makes it easier to like see, I feel like. Plus, when you're working with like raster programs, which is what this is, raster just is like another word for kind of pixel-based programs. You run the risk of getting really kind of ugly artifact refraction, or just like artifacts when you work really small. Like, it just looks really ugly if you work small and then try to zoom in. So I find that it's a lot better to just work big, because it can always be made smaller, but something that's too small can't be made bigger. Okay. All good then. My current rendering style, I don't do line art, so instead what I do is I just kind of clean up everything a lot more so that the composition is totally clear. But then I just kind of paint over it over and over again until it's looking clean. Let me check the time. Because depending on the time, I might take a quick break, and then I'll do it after. I'll start after. Okay, yeah. So I think I'll take a quick break here, and then just like probably like 6 minutes. But then when my break is over, I'll come back and we will start cleaning this up. Finishing it up. Yep, we're good. Alright. Let me switch over here. Alright. So I will be back in about 6 minutes. So see you. Oh, first let me make sure the music. We have a song that won't like randomly stop. Okay, be back in about 6 minutes. See you. Okay, I am back. So we can continue. Thank you. I have to like remember to take breaks. So I set like timers. I'm trying to get better with making sure I take a minute to stop because I can get really into my drawings and I will completely forget that part. Oh my god. Yeah, when you sent me the GIF versions, my jaw dropped. I had no idea that there were GIF versions of those memes. It was so funny. Also, I had only seen the original. I hadn't seen the like variants. They're too good. I love like memes like that where it's just like a very simply drawn thing happening. Because even though they're simple, they usually always just capture the exact thing, exact mood or whatever they're trying to capture. Yes, please do. I want them all. Oh, is that the name of the person who made it? I like this song. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll have to look them up because I like the vibes. There's a genre of music I've been into lately called digital fusion. And I've been looking at a lot of it because I realized it's the genre that a lot of my favorite video game music was. It's all this, a lot of it's this digital falls under that digital fusion umbrella. So I'm really looking into it because I didn't even know there was a name for the style of music that it is. But TikTok actually was the place where I found out that I've been really into that. this I brought it up because this person who made the soundtrack, he also makes just a lot of digital fusion music in general. Callum Bowen, I really like his. Although he works in video games, so he's done a lot of OSTs. But I just like his regular music in general. He's just very nice sound to his work. Well, I love learning that there's an actual subgenre, there's a style of music. Right, exactly. Like when I discovered that is what that type of music that I've been listening to was called, I was just so excited. Because then now, yeah, I can go to whatever sound app and look it up by name. Like I don't have to kind of loosely look for it. I can directly like search for it. So it made me really excited to find the name of it. If I get my audio separation plan to work, then maybe I can play some of the ones I found too. There's just been so much music I've been really into off stream, so I really want to bring it into my streams. That will complete the vibes. Yeah. Yeah, that always hurts so bad. That's happened to me a lot lately, because unfortunately, like, a lot of the EDM artists I keep finding end up, like, I later find, like, that there's a beware on them about something, and it's like, oh, come on, man. Why must you make good music and be a bad person? That's why it's always nice when I find someone I actually know who makes good music. Cough, cough, you. And, people, because it's just like, at this point, it's too many occurrences I've had where I find someone I really like their music, and then, or even visual art. Like I found people who I really like their visual art, and then I find out, oops, they did something awful, and now that's all I can think about when I look at their art, and I'm just in pain. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's the same way. It's just like, just listen in ways that don't give them money. That way you're not directly supporting them. I feel like at in art university, a lot of what we're required to do is so complex and challenging. Like a lot of the art I have to do for my classes is always, it really wrecks my brain when I work on it. So that's why whenever I'm not in school, it's kind of nice to not draw stuff that hurts my brain all the time. Like this, where, like this piece here, like it's not hurting my brain. So I know I'll be able to really get like nice details because I won't be like freaking out over all sorts of other stuff. And it just feels nice to do like things that are simpler in comparison to my university stuff that still is very fulfilling. So that's one reason I'm kind of excited, for when I'm done with college, because obviously sometimes I'll still have to do stuff that is challenging just to grow myself as an artist and also try new things, but it'll be nice to not have to do that all the time, because in school it kind of feels like every piece I have to make for school just hurts my brain. Which on one side is good because it means I'm being challenged, but also it's just like, ouch. Yeah, I feel piano. I like just like doing my own things with enough pressure over it. Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely relate to that for a lot of things. A lot of things art wise. I just realized, yeah, I kind of don't like being in a classroom setting with all these deadlines and stuff with this particular type of art. One thing I noticed too with like when you're doing something for a class is like you're able to do your own thing, but at the same time you kind of have to appeal to the taste of the professor too, or the objectives they're trying to get you to do. Um, and so that takes away a little bit of your own creative freedom sometimes. Because how I kind of think about it is it's almost like you're constantly working for like a client, I guess. When you're in a creative based class, so you always kind of, like in a lot of my classes, especially now that I'm getting into the advanced levels, I'm able to do a lot of the do kind of what I would like, but at the same time it's kind of hard sometimes because every professor will have their own preferences. Like some professors will like to see all these little details, while some professors don't care as much, and it's a lot harder. Like I can't just always draw completely what I want to draw. I have to kind of be more aware of what exactly they're looking for in order to still get a decent grade. Yeah. Yeah, honestly that's the good part I feel like about taking courses for something like a formal course, because it will make you get out of your comfort zone because you are being asked to do these specific things. You have specific prompts that you're following and everything, and that makes you more kind of try new things, I feel like, by force, and it will help you improve just because of that. And that's what I've seen with like art school, because it pushes me out of my comfort zone so much. I get better at art every year and get a better like process for my art, like working my workflow becomes more clear to me, just because I have to once again like create so often as well. Like, I don't get to, like, make an art piece for a few weeks and then, like, sit down. Like, I have another assignment, so I just am constantly working on stuff, so it kind of helps me reinforce a workflow that works for me. Oh, I gotta get better at checking my alerts. I never said it, but Fire Flame Wolf 01. Thank you for following. You followed quite a while ago, so I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for the follow. I have to get better with checking alerts. I'm not used to it yet. Well, that's good that they're really open. Yeah, like, a lot of my professors, they are open, to a degree, but yeah, you get some professors that are a little bit more, you can tell that they favor a specific, style or theme among the work. And I try not to conform too much because, I'm in school to try to build my own personal portfolio for what I want to do. Not necessarily, like, catering always, but, some classes to get a good grade, you just have to shift it a little bit. But I definitely like more open professors too. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, like, this is still that Callum Bowen guy. I like a lot of his music. He does a lot of different genres. Makes his work very interesting to me. Because it seems like for each project he does, it's a little bit different. I feel like I had the hardest time for sure in my beginner illustration class, like my freshman year, just because it's like learning that balancing act, learning new teachers and everything like that. It was quite a lot. And it, like, wasn't my only class. Like, I had other art classes too to worry about on top of it. Just a lot. I'm getting the hang of it now. Like, I tend to take 3 different art classes, plus, my whatever other non-art classes I need every semester. And it can be a lot at times, but I feel like I'm kind of learning how to balance it better. Which, it makes sense because of, I've been here for 3 years now, so I should hopefully be figuring it out by now, at least a little bit. I still always feel like I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get everything done, but at least a little bit. It's a little bit better than my freshman year. Oh, I'm figuring stuff out. Right. Yeah, it just takes time and experience. That's how everything goes. I find with like creative fields, like the reason I really wanted to do a lot with my art is because I feel like it's rewarding in that sense where just by the act of doing it, the longer you do it, you do see like yourself get better. And there's something that's really satisfying about that. Like being able to like look back at the type of stuff you used to make and then the stuff you make now, you get that kind of satisfaction of having this like kind of physical embodiment of your progress that you can like show people or look at when you feel like, oh, I haven't done much, but then you can look and no matter if you haven't done it a lot, even if you've just been doing it, you can always see like that you're making progress. And I think that's really cool. See if I can find a reference for the hand there. Yes, the emotions of it is definitely a large part of what I enjoy about it. Like I love like making art for people, like gifts like this or like paid stuff. Like either way, it's always so nice when I get to deliver the finished product and then see someone's reaction to what I've made for them. It's very rewarding. And it's very touching too, just to see, because oftentimes I feel like, for me, sometimes the with my art, like I can be working on something for so long that after a while it loses the kind of wow factor in my own eyes at times. But then if I get to show someone else, like if I'm making it for someone else and I get to show them, like seeing their reaction to something, like they haven't seen it, even though I've been staring at it, they have not seen it. So getting to see like their constant new reaction to it kind of keeps me going and kind of keeps fueling me forward. And I feel like that's a very rewarding kind of cycle there. Started a new compilation. That should be okay. Sometimes Nintendo music is iffy, but I think it should hopefully. This compilation seems like it should be Yeah. Yeah, fresh eyes is always, I feel like, a good motivator. That's why one of my goals, just in general, is to in general, one of my goals is just to make more stuff. Because I kind of feel like I just kind of came out of a really long period of creative burnout from, being in school for art, and I feel like for a while I lost kind of my direction with my art, in the sense where I was still making stuff, but I lost kind of like the reason why I was doing it, and I wasn't feeling very confident in it for a while. But the way I feel like I came out of that by learning to make more stuff that I just genuinely enjoy, and also making art for other people, I feel like has helped a lot too. For that reason, like just being able to see other people's reaction to my art helped me kind of realize, okay, yeah, like I'm making things and people are enjoying them, so I shouldn't be so devastatingly hard on myself all the time. Because I feel like that's one of the I won't say downfall, because overall it's a good thing, but it's maybe like very critical of my art, like very like making sure like anatomy's up, like lighting's up, like it's maybe very just critical, which overall is a good thing. It's obviously good to like be able to see if something's like looking super off and everything, but I feel like it's made me at times too critical, to the point where sometimes I just rip myself apart when I work on stuff. So I've been trying to really overcome that and just kind of make stuff. Was that made for? Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like I always have a moment whenever I end school too, where I kind of lose track of everything. Like lose track of like, I always have a period where I feel like, oh, okay, I need to change something. It definitely is May. I feel like for me, it's also too often it's May and alternatively like December coming like into winter break, because like as I was talking about with school, I'm being forced to like make all these different things. So then when May or December happens and I no longer have the prompts to kind of be pushing me forward from school, I always have a moment where I'm like, wait a minute, like what do I like to make? I don't know. Or I go through like an art block where I feel like making something, but I just can't for the life of me think of things to make. And that's, I feel like, very painful. When I really want to create, but I just genuinely cannot figure out anything to create. I think being critical is good in balance. It's a good habit to also be able to simply let go of things in relation to art. Many people don't notice some of the things you critique yourself for, right? Yeah, finding that balance, that's been one of my biggest struggles since being in art school. Learning to let some things go. That's why I feel like lately though, I feel like I found that release since I've decided to do more like furry art and more stuff that like working on stuff for my stream specifically. Like I've been making like the YouTube thumbnails and the stream thumbnails and stream layouts and stuff like that. Like doing stuff like that kind of allows me to just kind of think of it for fun, even though this is technically eventually going to be towards my job, has helped me kind of get some of that back. Like going back to things that used to make me really happy when I draw when I was a kid, kind of working. And the main thing right now with working on stuff on my stream is, as a kid, I used to really like working towards art for a purpose. Like I used to make a lot of comics as a kid, or I wanted to make like original characters related to the stuff I was into, like the anime and video games, so kind of having that purpose that's driving the piece rather than just kind of drawing the piece for portfolio reasons specifically, and thinking of it like that versus thinking of it as having a purpose besides that, even though it is for portfolio reasons, has kind of helped me overcome that, because I kind of go back to that mindset of, just focusing on that purpose rather than every little technical thing, much more like I did when I was younger. So that's helped me a lot, kind of trying to reclaim that mindset that 10-year-old me had as far as my art goes. Right, yeah, that's one thing I want to do too. I want to pick up more hobbies that are creative besides drawing. I do eventually want to get into making music, possibly, or I started kind of getting into cross stitching, just having other creative things to do. So when I want to get out that creative outlet, but I don't necessarily want to draw, I have those things where I can just not worry about something that I know super well and more goof off with something that's not my career direction kind of thing. Cross stitching, I'm new to that, so I don't know a lot about it. I don't plan on making a career like my art, so when I'm feeling stressed about art, cross stitching sometimes helps because it's still satisfying that creative urge, but because I'm not as skilled at it, I don't hold myself to such high standards like I do with art sometimes. So it can be refreshing to kind of jump around between different hobbies. So I need more hobbies, specifically creative ones. Right, exactly, yeah. That's why I feel like it's helpful to sometimes channel the younger kind of mindset of just making stuff to make stuff rather than making stuff to be good at it, Because I feel like definitely, well, it's a good thing that I've learned artistically what makes art technically good and technically bad. It can be damaging when it overrides your mind, so it's good that time to just make stuff without worrying about if it's good. Just make stuff to make stuff. Sometimes. A balance of the two, making stuff, to make something that you think will help you really improve and become better, but then sometimes making stuff just to make stuff and not worrying about that side of it so much. Spend a while on their hand. I think it's good enough now. Oh, Breath of the Wild music is so good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I kind of like what I ended up with there. Real quick, I'm going to try to take a reference photo for the hand, for this second hand, because I think when I sketch it, it's correct from the correct angle. For that sort of pose, I could be a little off from the other side. It could be, I feel like it might be flipped, so I'm just going to take a quick picture of myself to make sure I'm picturing it correctly. Yeah, hands are, they definitely are one of the more difficult body parts. I feel like since I've been in art school, because I draw them a lot, have to draw them a lot, I get less caught up in the structure and more caught up in the positioning. Like one rules I follow that helps me a lot is like your thumbs, if your hands are facing palm outward, will always be pointing towards the face. So that helps me a lot, but sometimes with more complicated or complex like poses or perspective, I get like lost of which direction everything should be facing. I draw a lot of like backwards hands at first. Okay, I'm back with my reference photos. Good news is that I was correct with the direction. So the direction looks proper. I'm just gonna fix the structure a little based on my reference. It's always definitely a relief when I realize that I was at least correct. So I at least don't have to completely redraw it. Yoshi song. Oh, this is like a remix or something. Another thing our school has taught me though is definitely take my time with the planning process of my art pieces, because I'm one of those where I love the like finalization process so much that when I was like younger, I would honestly not really have much of a planning process. I would just kind of start and finish, just sit like in one kind of sitting. Like I would do a very quick, rough, loose sketch and then just start. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. And I still know a lot of visual artists who do that, where all they need is kind of one really rough, loose sketch and they just go for it. But through art school, I realized that I'm not really that type of artist. I come up with a much better product when I take the time to do thumbnails, rough, the rough first passes, and then I refine it, and then I start, because I feel like when I do all that, it helps me to get all the kinks out, all the minor issues, like weed those out. And by usually my third, like my final pass, I'm good to go. So my art piece turns out much cleaner than it would if I didn't do all that. So lately, since I've been forcing myself to take my time and not be afraid to spend just 3 hours like we're doing today, sketching, my final pieces have turned out much better, I must say. It especially helps that I'm no longer so focused on like trying to post all the time, and I focus more on like making actual art that I like. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's helpful to have some sort of planning process. And I've noticed that, taking time to plan makes the part I like easier. I have a much better time rendering the part I actually have a lot of fun with, when everything is already like figured out by that point. Versus when I'm trying to render something and I keep getting stopped because I didn't figure everything out. And I end up encountering like problems that I then have to like problem solve in the middle of my rendering. That's a lot less pleasant, and honestly, if I don't plan it, I find that nowadays if I don't plan well enough, I oftentimes unfortunately like have a hard time finishing stuff that I don't plan well. Oh, I forgot I was on a separate layer. I was like, what happened? I also find better results when I have an idea for the song. I usually have a title idea in mind that I can fit in the song too. Creative Soul was unique in that I didn't do this, it was more for stylistic purposes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point too. Honestly, for me, that's how it works as well. I usually, the reason when I make a art piece for myself, it usually is because I've pictured some sort of like loose idea in my brain or something, or I saw something like another piece of media, like a movie or something that suddenly inspired me to try to make something that way. I definitely feel like it turns out better when you have kind of that loose depiction versus when you're kind of sketching blindly and hoping for something sometimes. Oh, the Ori soundtracks. I don't know if I've listened to those. I'll have to give those a listen. I love video game music, so I'm always down for more video game music to listen to. One thing I've found also since I've taught myself to slow down and take my time with my art is I actually get art block a lot less. Like, I find myself stumped for ideas a lot less often. And I feel like it's because I'm not, like, burning myself out anymore in a way. Like, I take a while on each new idea. So by the time I finish it, like I have all these other ideas that I'm ready to work on versus like before I would draw so often like without like I just kept pumping out art basically. So after a while I wouldn't have any more ideas, like it just by natural just I forced all the ideas out very fast versus now I have a lot more time as I'm working on one project like to be thinking of other projects. So that's another benefit of taking my time I've noticed. Oh, yeah, I've heard that game is a little sad, or maybe a lot sad, but I've definitely heard that it has some feels for sure. Oh yeah, I was seeing you posting about playing that game. The art style looks really good too, cute at times, but also it's able to be like kind of scary at this like when it needs to be. I've always liked like art style game styles like that, where it can look cute, but also it can look terrifying if it wants to. Maybe I will have to look into it because I have been kind of feeling like I'm itching for a game that's not like a, like one of the big games like Mario and Sonic and stuff. Like I want kind of to check out more of the games that aren't maybe as wide known. Because Ori's pretty popular, but it's not like Mario and stuff. It's a little bit different. It has a much more indie vibes. I think it technically is like indie creator. Oh, okay. Oh, through the sound. Okay. Yeah, I really like it. I like looking at it. I think that hand is also okay. Little smaller. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel the indie vibes. And thank you. I chose kind of not complicated, but a little bit of complex hand positions. So I'm glad I finally kind of got it down. I was gonna ask, did you have an idea for the like shape you want like his hologram reader to be? Because I can go with a shape that's like basically similar or the same as like Sombra's, but I don't know if you had like a specific shape in mind. Or if the shape I have, this weird, that kind of shape I have on here is fine, or if you had one that you would like me to try. Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Cyberons. Okay. I will look. Oh, what's your idea? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. I could definitely try something like that. I think that'd be really cool. There's not going to be a lot of detail in the sketch here, but because that would be something I would have to add most of the details when I'm actually rendering it. But I do like that idea. I'll put the like circle shape. I like that idea. I will go with that one sort of thing. And I've never actually done like that sort of those kind of cybernetic details, but I think it'll be fun to figure it out with this piece. And I'm thinking like title can go here. Maybe. And your logo, if you want to add it, can go here. My busted version of your logo. I'm so sorry for butchering your logo for this sketch. um, I was looking at your Bandcamp and your SoundCloud just to see your album covers, what you usually include, and from what I see, mainly the most important seems to be your title and your logo. So there's the space that can be placed for it. But of course, if later we want to see what things look like moved around, we can play with that as well. Yes, this is the logo. It's perfect. That's what it. That's perfect how it is. Nothing wrong with it at all. All right, so I think this is good. Yeah, I agree, and yeah, like the background, this like part that's kind of blank. I'll probably add some texturing, like to kind of make it look a little like he's in some sort of like kind of cybernetic chamber. But I won't do too much. So those areas you could probably play with adding stuff for sure in like some of these areas. But yeah, I think this will be the basic composition. Does this look okay for the basic like idea? When I render, like I said, I add a lot more detailing, but this will be the basic idea. If does this look okay for you? Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so happy you like it. Yeah, I really like it too. This is definitely gonna be a lot of fun to render out. Now I'm going to do the next step in my sketching process, because yes, there's always another step. This is why my art takes a lot longer, but it results in things that I think look very nice. It's as the result because I spent so long on this part. We're going to do a value study, basically a black and white like version of the coloring to figure out the lighting we want to go with. So I definitely think I want to have it where, save this Sombra picture, because I like having the hologram as the light source. So we're going to work with that, having the hologram work as a light source for us, because that will look cool. And also give some nice direction to the lighting in the piece. So because of that, I'm going to have a lot of the area kind of dark. Yay! I'm glad you like that idea too. My artwork just had a moment. It's fine. It didn't crash. It just had to take a little moment for some reason. This is gonna be so fun to render. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to add color to this. For today, I'll probably stop after I finish the value study though. Cause we're creeping up on my my cutoff usually time. So I'll probably stop after the value study for today, but then when I'm back on Friday, we'll get some colors going. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm just creating a kind of guide for myself, so then when I do choose colors, I don't lose track of kind of the original uh, path I want the lighting to go in. It just keeps things clear. Another helpful tip from art school as well. And I feel like, in my experience, it's also helped me to do more complex, like, lighting or complex rendering when I start with making a kind of a guide like this, because then I don't lose track of the form and the color schemes that was working with, because I make sure to like map it all out first, so I don't lose track of it. Because that was something I struggle with a lot, and I feel like a lot of um artists I see struggle with it, is like when you add color but you lose kind of that lighting structure. Yeah. I'm just really glad overall that I take a lot more time with my art, because I feel like it's made me come up with so many more pieces that I'm a lot happier with, even though they take a while to complete. Oh, nice, yeah. Yeah, it always ends up being worth that amount of time, I feel like. Yeah, that's honestly about how long most of my art takes, to around that range. It's taken more. It usually takes longer when it's something I'm unfamiliar with that I'm doing. Like over, like, I think you saw, but because I posted about it sometimes. But yeah, this past semester I had a 3D art class, and I'd never done 3D media. So honestly, most of the projects for that class took like 40 hours total, just because I was so unfamiliar with the medium and stuff like that. But stuff I'm familiar with usually takes about that range that you have for your music. Yeah, I definitely feel like it takes a while because like the less familiar you are with something, the more you have to kind of stop to like probably look stuff up too, and you might run into more like problems or things that don't work that you have to go fix when you're not as familiar. At least like in my experience, that's why it usually takes a bit longer. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it so far. Yeah, I think one of my favorite lighting situations to draw is definitely a one light source. Like when there's one distinct, like really bright light that everything's being affected by. I think it makes for something that looks really kind of dramatic in a good way. Oh no, you're okay. I haven't really said anything. Just rendering. Also, sorry if you can hear any like my dog and stuff. I need to get a microphone, like an actual microphone, so I can do noise gate and stuff. But I don't have that, so I can't block out small noises yet. You're right. dogs are gonna bark regardless. Yeah, my dog's a pretty barky dog. He'll bark at anything. Especially like there's a window we have in our living room that's pretty low to the ground. So he likes to like look out of it because he can reach it. And if he sees anything new, dogs, cars, people, he'll bark to let us know that he sees something. So he barks quite a lot. I find like that doing value studies like this also helps a lot, especially when I'm doing furry characters, just because they can have so many different colors and patterns. Yours is pretty straightforward. You only have about two main colors, but like some personas that I've drawn in my time, like for commissions and stuff, can get like pretty crazy with the markings and things like that. So doing a value study helps because, even when I'm dealing with all that color, I have this kind of baseline to know what to do with the shading, despite all the color. Oh my gosh, yes. Please, yes, please do send that to me. That's so funny. But I know that actually, that sounds pretty, like, good, good for that genre. Like, that would work. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm very stoked to be a part of it. Like, I'm telling you, it's been something I think about a lot, just being able to make, art for a musical project. I think it's just something I think about quite a lot, so very happy to help you make something like this for your art. I mean, for your music, which is art. You know. Why is it purple? Yes, of course. I had to make you something because you helped me out with having a such a cool stream theme. Like I've never had. Well, you made me a song for like my birthday, the jungle song. I remember. I still have it, but like I've never had a song to use on my stream. That's just for my streams and everything like that. So I was very grateful, so I definitely wanted to make you something. Plus, drawing your character is always a treat. Even though I've only done it once before. It was nice to draw, so I'd love to draw them again. Yeah, I think for today that's gonna be it. I think because I'm nearing my cutoff time, but we got a lot done, and I think we came up with a very cool concept, and I'm really excited to keep working on it for sure. Yeah, this lighting is gonna be really fun to render. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're really good at it. That one, now, even if it wasn't, yeah, because it did have the joke yellow words near the end, but yeah, the sound was still very nice. So I definitely think you would nail it every time. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking around for the whole stream. It's always nice to have someone to talk to throughout the whole thing. So thank you for coming by. Sorry, I said something that I wanted to try to add. Awesome, yeah. Yes, stop by my streams. I always hear drawn. Well, in that case, hopefully I see you Friday, but that's when I'll be back. And have a good rest of your day. Oh, I almost forgot because I'm not used to having it. Now I can switch to my ending soon screen. Yay! I almost forgot I have this now. Yay! I finally finished the art for it. Alright, well, have a good day. Thank you again for stopping by. See you.